Welcome to Wrestling is Hard, where every side is the dark side of the ring. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at @hard4wrestling. Email questions and complaints at wrestlingishard@gmail.com. I'm Jim. Brandon, we got a big show this week. How you doing?
On top of the world, man. WrestleKingdom.
How many hours of wrestling did you watch this week?
How many hours of wrestling on the TV? About 18. How many did I watch? About, let's call it 9. Split it down the middle.
Chris, how about you? You're back. How you feeling, buddy?
The week of death has ended.
Did you cough it all up?
I still a little congested, but other than that, it was the lethargy and the fucking headache. Oh my god!
Yeah, Tina had the headache too.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I did not have the headache.
So, but I will tell you this: I didn't lose taste or smell.
Oh, it's coming. No. Some people get it. So it's really strange, this thing. It's like some people get the symptoms, some people get none of the symptoms.
Yep. So.
Are you ready to talk about WrestleKingdom? Is everybody ready to talk about WrestleKingdom? It's fucking WrestleKingdom season.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's fucking do it. New Japan's WrestleKingdom happened. When the hell did it happen? Right as soon as we were done. Well, it actually happened before we started recording. WrestleKingdom Night 1 and then WrestleKingdom Night 2 happened the night we recorded. So let's go through the card. You guys give me your thoughts. And then we'll talk about like overall how you thought it was. So let's start with the opening match. The New Japan Rambo. The Final Four advanced. I'll give you the to fight for the King of Professional Wrestling 4-way on night 2. Chase Owens, CIMA, Minoru Suzuki, and Toru Yano came through. Holy shit, CIMA. Brandon, thoughts?
Skip. This was in the 9 I skipped. Night 1, too much. 5 hours of crap. So,
Chris, how was the Rambo, Chris?
Yeah, I didn't watch any of this.
Oh my god.
I skipped. Well, you know what?
I'm surprised.
I woke up at like 3:00 in the morning on, was it Tuesday? And I felt like I was in a meat locker. So I wrapped myself in a blanket and I went downstairs and I tried to watch and I was like, I just can't. I couldn't pay attention. So WrestleKingdom got turned off and Hulu got turned on and I watched reruns of Cheers till I fell back asleep.
I do have something to say, though. A little behind the scenes for you guys. If you're listening, we had a conversation in our little group chat, made it explicitly clear to Jimmy last week. Night 1, I will not be watching anything before Shibata versus Ren Narita. We all agree. We get on the podcast, of course. Let's start with the New Japan Rambo. Brandon, what did you think?
Yeah, that we were all told not to watch.
Yeah. What did you think?
Rambo.
Tatsumi Fujinami was in it. He's like 75 years old. Everybody like lined up to get the dragon screw leg whip. That was pretty good. Match fucking sucked. All right. Special singles match. 60-minute time limit. Yo defeated Show. Brandon, how was it?
It was good, man. I clicked right on by it. I think I caught about 2 seconds when I was trying to figure out where I was at.
Chris, how was this excellent match?
This was it's a match of the night. I'm putting it in a list for match of the year.
Yeah, match of the year. Definitely. Match of the year of the night.
Of the night.
Second match, 30-minute time limit. Rocky Romero, Ryusuke Taguchi, and Hiroshi Tanahashi lose to El Phantasmo, Taiji Ishimori, and Kenta. Brandon, thoughts?
Are you sure you're not reading the card to like a Road to WrestleKingdom show here? Because this sounds boring as hell. I did not watch.
Very good point. It wasn't good. Chris, how was it?
Well, I mean, it's matches like this that really solidify my belief that they should actually do these big shows over more days, like maybe a week or two. And we can have WrestleKingdom 17. It'll start January 4th and it'll end February 4th. And, you know, you can have who reads this book faster match and fucking crap.
How about this one?
They should be ashamed of themselves.
This will get you excited. All right. Third match, 30-minute time limit. Bushi, Sonata, and Tetsuya Naito lose to Will Ospreay, the Great O Carney, and Jeff Corn on the Cob. Brandon, thoughts?
You could at least see why they forced all these people into this match, because none of them would be appearing for the rest of Wrestle Kingdom, right? Except for the fact that they all fucking worked double. Waste of time.
Getting that paycheck,
I think everybody
I guess.
gets the joke though, yeah.
Chris, did you catch it?
No, this actually, it was funny. I saw the end of this match because I was fast forwarding to the match that I wanted to start with.
Yes.
And I mean, if you want to get everybody on the card, write better wrestling.
Well, yeah.
There's an easy way to do that.
So, yeah. If I haven't gotten hammered you over the head with the point, listeners, the beginning of this fucking show sucked. It was fucking terrible. I watched it all because I'm fucking insane. Let's get to the juicy points. Fourth match, 30-minute time limit, special singles match. We were told ahead of time, Katsuyori Shibata was going to wrestle in catch-style wrestling. We didn't know who the opponent was. Out comes Ren Narita, returning Ren Narita, who is basically Shibata Jr. Big pop as much as you could pop by the Japanese fans. They clapped really hard. I was into it. I thought it was really cool. Then Shibata grabs the microphone and what seems spontaneous, who knows? It's fucking wrestling. I don't know if it's spontaneous. Says, this isn't catch wrestling. This is real wrestling. And basically just beats the shit out of Ren Narita for fucking 12 minutes and wins. Katsuyori Shibata's back. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, if they weren't able to get a major name in there like we had theorized wasn't going to happen due to some of the COVID restrictions, I like the idea of going with this top student. They, at this point for me, Wrestle Kingdom has now started. They look remarkably similar in there physically. It was like almost strange. The same haircut, same body type, same trunks, black boots. It's interesting if it's true that Shibata didn't tell anyone of his plans that he was going to remove any restrictions from the match. I mean, it was 12 minutes. He looked great in there. Narita, I don't know if you would say he looked like he deserved to be in there, but he didn't look bad as he got whooped in this kickboxing piece of the match, especially. And maybe apparently Shibata can wrestle real matches now, so we'll see what we get next. But the crowd was into it. Finally got some claps.
Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, so they were pretty quick in throwing out the Shibata has gone into business for himself line, which leads me to believe that this was all planned ahead of time.
Absolutely.
It's fucking bullshit. You don't go out there with the plan to do so. You don't go out there to do Oklahoma and then when you get on stage go, yeah, we're going to do Macbeth tonight. And it's not how it fucking works. Come on. Give me a fucking break. And then, of course, somebody, if I heard correctly, somebody this week stuttered and stammered over his explanation on how he knew that the Meltz man. So it leads me to believe that that's complete horseshit. So they knew what they were fucking
the
doing.
Meltz got work. They definitely knew what they were doing.
Yeah. So silly.
Ridiculous.
We got this.
Yeah, Brandon.
You don't think Bushiroad would have let Shibata have a seizure, brain hemorrhage in the ring because he wasn't prepared and he's hijacked their Tokyo Dome show, do you?
Only if you really, really wanted to do it.
So stupid. But good. Awesome match. I love it.
It was fun. That music hits, man. If you're a big fan of Shibata, like I am, that music hits, man. I felt it in the heart. I felt it in the tear ducts for a second.
Let me ask you guys something.
What's that?
Let me ask you something.
Yee.
Brandon, you ever see Shibata live?
No, that was my first time.
Jim, you ever see Shibata live?
I actually,
I've
seen him I've seen him
in
3
person,
times.
never. No.
3 times live.
Oh yeah, where?
Yeah, I was in Tokyo. He was at a strip club next to Hook. He's getting twerked on by a stripper.
I have.
I know you have. Chris saw Shibata live. We didn't. Excellent. I thought this was fun. This is going to bring him back. Shibata, we got back. We got Ren Narita back. Now they're going to go back over to the United States, I guess, and work the U.S. shows. Go ahead.
Quick point, and then I guess we can move on. Could you imagine if you were tuning in at 3:00 in the morning or whatever time it starts here, and they had their little Wrestle Kingdom intro, and this is the first match you see?
Right.
Not 6 hours of fucking crap.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get that whole thing. I just don't. Sorry. I'd rather see 2 hours of wrestling, then 4 hours of 2 hours of crap.
We'll talk about it at the end. We'll discuss this 2-night fucking bullshit. All right, 5th match. 60-minute time limit for the Never Championship. Champion Tomohiro Ishii loses in 12 minutes and 10 seconds to Evil. Evil put on a spectacular grappling clinic and defeated him one-on-one. No, wait. There was so much fucking interference. Nobody can. This is Brandon. I want to hear your thoughts on this because I had mentioned it last week and I really wanted you to watch it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you were clearly boiling at the thought of this last week without going into the details. So I knew it was going to be bad going into it, but I'm like, let me intentionally try to give this a fresh perspective and not just hate on it because Jimmy's hot about it. It was worse than I could have imagined that it was. I think there were about 5 actual wrestling moves in the entire 12-minute match, and that's being generous. Absolute silence in the Tokyo Dome throughout. No claps. And it's a shame. Ishii's one of my favorites. He's a guy that can really shine almost against almost anybody on the roster in these big spots if you give him a chance. He doesn't even really need a storyline. He's just that fucking entertaining.
The interesting point with the silence, and I was thinking about this when I was watching it, was imagine if they could talk, how much would they be booing right now? Like, would they be booing? Like, get the fuck. I hate you, Evil. I hate you all. Go ahead, Brandon.
I was wondering if they would go to that point where they would actually just turn on the event as a whole. I haven't seen a Japanese crowd do that, but if I was there and we're 3 hours into a 5-hour card and Dick Togo's slapping the referee around, it's like, all right.
So we had let's count the dudes that were in this match. So we start off with Tomohiro Ishii and we got Evil. That's 2 dudes. Dick Togo, he gets involved. There's 3. Show. We get number 4. I forgot to count the referee. That's number 5. We have Yujiro Takahashi gets involved at some point, I believe. That's 6. You get Yo. He comes out. That's 7. Then you get another fucking referee. 8 people were involved in this 12-minute match. This was fucking by far in my opinion, the worst New Japan match I've ever watched. I knew it was going to be bad. It somehow surpassed my expectations of being shit. It was like trying to take a dump and you don't even make it. You shit all over your legs and down your fucking drawers and into your ankles on the way
to your carpet.
Onto the carpet, like I have. People. Chris, thoughts?
So you didn't count the guy behind the table getting housed too.
Oh yeah, Abig
fucking that got knocked out. So that makes actually 10 people that were involved in this match. Yeah, this was a real piece of shit. Yeah, fucking what's his name? What is Japanese Harvey Keitel? Fucking Yujiro Takahashi. Why is he even he's still hanging around?
He's in the house of torture, man. Somebody's got to eat all the pins.
But he has been the pin eater for the Bullet Club for as long as I can remember.
He was in a tag team with Naito years ago, and he was the pin eater in that tag team too.
Everybody's got a job to do, and his is to just act like an idiot and get pinned.
He's Marty Jannetty in every single combination he's ever been in. Mm-hmm. Last thoughts on this, because I'm going to move on. Don't watch that unless you really want to be entertained by terrible shit. Okay, let's move on. 6-match match, 60-minute time limit. The IWGP Heavyweight Tag Championship. The challengers, Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, defeat Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi. Brandon, thoughts? 15 minutes. 15 and a half minutes.
Yeah, I thought this was actually pretty good for something that I generally don't like at all, which is like a tag match filled with a ton of interference from the illegal man. And Yoshihashi in particular looked great. Zack Sabre Jr. is always entertaining, so not bad.
First thoughts?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Brandon. I mean, not bad, not great, nothing to write home about, but I wasn't. I was entertained. Like I watched it, which with pro wrestling in general these days, that's a feat unto itself, I guess. Right? I mean, come on.
Yeah, Yoshihashi looked good in this. And they gave him a big round of congratulations afterwards. Zack Sabre Jr. and Tai Chi were clapping him on the back and stuff and saying good job, because they're like the weirdest tweeners ever. They're like the most supportive heels. They support their opposition all the time, which is great to watch. Yeah, this is a good match, and I don't expect much out of the tag division. So,
what I think, I'm sorry, I think at one point Kevin Kelly actually just said, almost like kind of led into the fact, he was almost saying like, "Hey, listen, this tag division is pretty thin. Just deal with what you got right now." You know, so
yeah, there's nobody. They can't bring anybody in. They still can't bring anybody in.
And the tag. I mean, I've said this a million times that New Japan's tag division is pretty shitty to begin with, but you know, they usually will have other dudes.
Yeah, from other companies or
from other companies, and it'll make it interesting. So, but yeah, I'm with you. It was good enough.
7th match, 60-minute time limit, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship match. Challenger, the Best of the Super Juniors winner, Hiromu Takahashi, loses to El Desperado in his first defense. Only 16 minutes. It was fast-paced. It was hard-hitting. El Desperado coming out in all white, which is always fucking awesome. When these guys that wear black come in like the white ghost, I fucking love it. This was good. Good match. Brandon.
Yeah, he looked cool as hell. Frenetic pace throughout this. I did think Takahashi clearly looked like the more skilled professional wrestler throughout the match. The story they were kind of telling was Despy was able to, like, I guess, get some, you know, reactive counters and pin attempts in based off his overzealous wrestling. This to me was somewhere between, if you want to give it a grade, like a B+, A-, as expected. So good, not great. I think at this point, I'll just make the point of night one. It's like these are the matches that we kind of knew what we were getting. Something had to rise above that to make this card better than we expected to be. Things that delivered as promised, some less, but nothing really has jumped out to me at this point. So,
Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I was really surprised that this was as short as it was. I put Takahashi in the same vein as in the same category as Kota Ibushi, where I almost watched them wrestle through my hands because I'm just afraid everything they do is going to break their neck. But this was really good. Desperado getting his eye fattened. The only thing I could think of was please get that contact out of his eye, because who knows how you're going to be able to pull it out later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was watching it and I was like, wait, does he got a black eye already? Like, it was almost immediately he got busted in the eye and his eye swelled up. And then at the end of the match, Kevin Kelly had made mention that the eye was closed. And all I could think of at that point was like, please, somebody run in there and take that contact lens out, because it's going to get stuck and it's going to get infected. That's all I cared about.
Yeah. Good match. Good match. Little change of pace because last year they had that like 35-minute match. Kind of like that all these matches besides the main event were under a certain amount of time, which was good. We're not stuck with these, you know, especially during pandemic. It's been like every main event, like top two matches have been over 35 minutes. I'm okay with this under 30-minute thing. Unless, of course, we get the 8th match, 60-minute time limit, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Defending Shingo Takagi gets defeated by the G1 Climax 31 winner, Kazuchika O'Connor. O'Connor.
O'Connor. Oi, O'Connor. O'Connor.
Kevin O'Connor.
Kazuchika O'Connor. Brandon, thoughts?
I thought, yeah, this was great. You know, it's like you get your classic New Japan main event title match that right in that 30, 35 minute sweet spot. I think this was, it reminded me a lot of, I think it was 2020 G1 the last time I watched these two have like a big match, and that was a match that stuck out to me because I usually don't do that. Recall like, oh, this is like almost as good as when they did this shit 2 years ago. But some of it felt like it was ground that was covered before between the two of them, but still a lot of fun for what it was, and you know, excited to see that we're getting Okada again in night 2 here at this point. So,
Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this was a really good match. I had a hard time. At no point did I think that Okada was going to lose. Yeah, that Shingo was going to win. Right. At no point. That kind of took away from it. I almost felt like I was going through the motions and watching it. They had a couple nice touches. I think when they went to do the zoom out, he got caught from behind, if I'm not mistaken. That was pretty good. But like I said, definitely a good match. Not shitting on that, but it's when you kind of know what happens, and they didn't there's always that I know so-and-so is going to lose, but for that split second, I kind of think I might be wrong. At no point did I think I was wrong here.
I like Okada comes out. He's got the new gear on. So he's got Inoki gear on.
Yeah,
Antonio
I noticed
Inoki. Yeah, he's got the scarf. His gear apparently, they showed close-ups of it. It's the history of the IWGP title written out all over his gear. It looks like stripes. He's got the new hair. He's got the new trunks that, if you know anything about Japanese culture, they broken bowls, they mend them with gold, and they have this like gold veins throughout his trunks were exactly that. Like he was broken and he's now repaired and he's stronger than ever. I don't know. Okada looked Shingo's amazing. Okada looked fucking amazing in this match. Okada's back, baby. We'll get to it.
It's good to see.
Yeah, we'll get to it in fucking night 2. Any final thoughts on night 1? Anything? Brandon,
Jim, a bit of a gearhead there, really breaking down the history of the gear. Appreciate that. I guess my final thought is, I think whether I like it or not, when you're watching these big, I don't know, not pay-per-view, but you're watching these big event cards, my ability to enjoy each match is kind of contingent on the matches around it, whether I like it or not. And the reason I mentioned it around the Takahashi Desperado match is just because even though this Okada Shingo match, had all the potential in the world, I think I was feeling flat just around the card in general, and the 30 to 35 minutes didn't really get the excitement out of me that it might seem like on paper, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make.
All right. Chris, final thoughts on the night 1?
Yeah, I'm with Brandon on the fact that it's just like sometimes you want to get hyped for things, and normally you would be able to get into them, but you're so kind of drained by either the lack of interest you had in the rest of the story or just the simple fact that it took forever to tell, and by the end of it, you're just sapped. And like I said, some good matches in there, but I came out of it with the same level of excitement, the same exact level of excitement I went in with, which was kind of like, nah, all right, it's over. And I went about my business. So.
All right, let's move on to night 2 then. So night 2, January 5th, opening match. You ready for this? I know you watched them all. I should go into this fucking show. Tomoyoki Hanma, Yuji Nagata, and Togi Makabe defeated Jado, Gato, and Bad Luck Fale in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Brandon, thoughts?
If I tried to watch this match, which I did not, I guarantee you I would have fallen asleep within the first 15 minutes of just like them coming out to the ring.
Chris?
No, it's good to hear Bad Luck Fale's back.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
He'd been gone for a while.
He was in the Rambo, and he tossed like 5 dudes before he got tossed out.
Yeah, but other than that.
Second opening match, 20-minute time limit. Master Wato, Satoshi Kojima, and Tenzan defeated. Hold on.
God.
I'm not done yet. Defeated Taka Michinoku, Kanemaru, and El Desperado, with Master Wato pinning the current champion, El Desperado. El Desperado had his big I beat Hiromu finally and defended the title, and then he loses to big old Watts.
Yeah, congrats to Desperado on his WrestleKingdom, where he both became a champion and got flattened by Master Wato in the 24 hours.
Chris, thoughts on this match? It was wonderful.
Tenzan.
Moving on. Third opening match, 20-minute time limit. Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Hiromu Takahashi defeated Doki, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi. Brandon, excited about that? Did it make you want to go back and watch it again?
No, again, it's not that I have a problem with any of those guys, but at this point in you're 7 hours into a 10-hour thing that you've bit off that you now have to consume. If they announced that this match had a 5-minute time limit, I still would skip it.
So it'll be like, it's entirely too long. Can we get this down to 2.5 minutes, please? All right, let's move on. First match, the official beginning of the show, 60-minute time limit. We got IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champs in the 3-way match. The champs, Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles. You heard that correctly. And the challengers were Rocky Romero, Ryusuke Taguchi, and El Phantasmo Taiji Ishimori. The champs defend. El Phantasmo's loaded boot gets exposed finally. If you guys have been paying attention, he's been loading his boot up. They pulled out the biggest wad of used tinfoil they'll ever find after a barbecue. Brandon, thoughts?
Skipped it. Should I go back and watch the loaded tinfoil boot match? How was it?
That was fun. It's 12 minutes. Brandon, Chris, thoughts?
All right. Let's just say these 2 words, these 4 words: Ryusuke Taguchi and Rocky Romero.
Yes, the mega coaches.
Mm-hmm. Taguchi looks like he's having salt water injected under his skin. He's so puffy.
Yeah, he is. One thing that if Taguchi had won, this would have been it will make this team the 69th champion.
Whoa.
Right, Captain 69. So I see them winning in the future. How would they pass that up, being Captain 69? Let's move on. Second match, 30-minute time limit, the Stardom special match. Starlight Kid and Mayo Iwatani versus Saya Kamitani and good old Tommy Nakano. Starlight Kid eats the pin. Saya Kamitani hits a fucking Phoenix Splash in Tokyo Dome. Pretty fucking cool. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, WrestleKingdom Night 2 is started now for me. I thought the commentators did a great job of explaining the context, which is definitely needed, especially considering that this isn't a Stardom event. Blistering pace, I'm sure won over a lot of fans. I thought it was about like as fast of a pace as we got the night before from Takahashi and Desperado, but this match had a little bit more intention to it, whereas that felt a little bit chaotic to me. So that was a great job from Stardom showing up. I feel like they're getting a little bit of buzz here.
They're hot. It's a hot product. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, no, this was fun. Wasn't any real. I don't know if there was any real stakes to it. But it was cool to see, and I enjoyed it. It was definitely. I mean, look, nothing against the Stardoms, but when the match that you're really like, oh, I'll watch this on a New Japan show is a Stardom match. New Japan's got some work to fucking do.
All right. Yeah. And this was like
not that it was a bad match.
No, it wasn't bad at all. It was good,
excellent.
But shouldn't you be concentrating on the product, right? Yeah, it was definitely one of my. I mean, I'm skewed, but one of the top matches of the weekend. I did like that they gave it the Stardom feel though, where they had like every team was seconded by people in their faction, and they were all screaming, and everybody was screaming the whole time. They didn't like they had their own referee. This was fun. I think maybe they got 1 or 2 more viewers from this, which is the whole reason they did it. All right, let's move on. Third match, no time limit. King of Pro Wrestling 2022 4-way match. Minoru Suzuki wins in a 4-way against Chase Owens, Toru Yano, and CIMA. Minoru Suzuki got, by the way, this whole match, it was no time limit. The whole match was 6 minutes. He gets back.
Chris, what are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing that this exists.
Yeah. He gets handcuffed to the ropes. And then one of the young boys tries to help him out, one of the young lions, and he starts slapping the shit out of the young lion because he's not moving fast enough. The most entertaining part of this match was Minoru Suzuki getting pissed at the young lions, in my opinion. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, you nailed it. 6 minutes. Suzuki beating on the young lions. I mean, this like of all of the like little junk matches they had throughout this thing, this was the best of them. But at least they seemed like the most interesting.
Chris?
Yeah, they definitely did a good job of putting people that you're going to want to see act like idiots for 6 minutes. Like even Minoru Suzuki, when he's like being this over the top asshole, it falls into like he never changes the way he behaves, but he just goes so over the top with it that it falls into comedy by default. And it was just awesome. I love this. This was funny as hell.
It's pretty exciting that CIMA's in here. So we're hoping because we get El Lindemann showed up, we get T-Hawk, we got all the strong hearts showing up in there. Are you guys familiar with Greet Wrestling?
No, I'm not.
They were flashing it all over the screen. It's a new wrestling fed created by CIMA, and it's like the new hot fed. They mix UFC, Pancrase, and pro wrestling together. I watched a show over during pandemic when I was dying of COVID. I survived, by the way.
What's it called? Gleat?
It's spelled Gleat, but in katakana it's pronounced great. That's how it's pronounced. It's supposed to be pronounced great, but it says Gleet. Yeah. You can't write this shit, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's great.
Could you guys ever gleek?
Yeah, I know it.
You know what
Yeah, I
gleek
used to be able
is?
to
Like when
gleek.
I'm going to do it on my camera right now.
No, please don't.
That's what
That is
that's
disgusting.
In slow-mo.
Gleek.
You're going to see it.
Oh. All right, let's move on. Fourth match, 60-minute time limit. The never six-man tag. What this never title? Six-man tag championship match. Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto lose to Sho, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil. Good times. Brandon,
skipped it.
Yep. Chris, you loved it, didn't you?
You know, I at no point since I've began watching New Japan in the modern era have I understood what the fuck these never open weight titles are. I don't give a shit.
Just a six-man title.
Yeah, but then there's a heavyweight. There's another one.
Yeah,
There's
that's
titles,
basically
like-
well, they got rid of the well, it used to be the open weight title, so anybody could challenge. Juniors could challenge. Are you making that face
I get
to
it.
me?
No, I'm just saying. I get it. It's just fucking stupid.
Well, they got rid
You
of
can
it. Now
watch
it's like the
Ishii-
Intercontinental.
You can watch Ishii and Togi Makabe headbutt each other for 45 fucking minutes. It's just like, it's always like this like knockoff shit. Like I saw it in an Armory wrestling match with fucking
Yeah, it is.
Don Morocco and fucking Sal Lomo.
Yeah, it's not good. And it hasn't gotten any better. Let's move on. Fifth match, 60-minute time limit, special singles match. This is the Brandon main event. Sonata defeated the Great O'Carney in 13 minutes and 21 seconds. The O'Connor Bridge. Sonata was flopping and slopping all over the place. It's good that he gets up for the big matches, like WrestleKingdom. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I had to hate watch this. I hate the mediocre O'Carney. And hate watch it. I did. I thought that backbending pin shit they kept going back to was dumb as hell. I don't know why the refs tried to stop the Great O'Con from diving off the side of the ring, which happens in like every single match. 12 minutes of just some really pathetic crap from the New Japan boys. Sonata gets the victory though, which at least I was a little bit relieved by because he's slightly more competent. I don't know what they're going to do with O'Con because he's not in any good shape. Like it's not like he's going to get better. And I
like
don't,
O'Con. I don't hate him. I think he's been fun. That Yano match where they wrestled, I told you guys to watch it. You probably didn't, but they actually wrestled. They did like amateur rules. That was fun. I don't know.
Very like Matt Sydal. Like I just like, oh, why is this guy still? How is he still the one that they're using?
Oh my god. Matt Sydal. Chris, thoughts?
So I fell asleep when Sonata was coming out to the ring, and I woke up and it was over.
That would put me to sleep too. That's a
I
good
was watching-
15-minute nap.
You know what? It was yeah, it was funny. I was watching and I was laying on my couch in my basement, and I'm watching. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, man, you gotta stay awake. You gotta stay awake. And I thought, I actually said to myself, wait a minute, you fucking live here. You can fall asleep on the couch. I just knocked out. I don't know why I was thinking I couldn't fall asleep. Maybe because it was like it was all to me. It was so, a lot of this was so hard that it was like work, and I felt like I was at work and I couldn't just take a nap, whatever the fuck I wanted.
Like, I can't. The boss will see
I'll
me.
get caught.
All right, let's move on. 6-match, 60-minute time limit, special singles match. Tetsuya Naito defeats Jeff Cobb in 15 and a half minutes by Destino. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, I was looking forward to these two. Jesus. I thought they could have went even bigger for this match. Felt like it was put on here just because everyone thought it was wild as hell, and that it was. It was like 10 minutes, so pretty exciting. I don't know that the whole like United Empire thing is really working, doing any Jeff Cobb any favors. They like lose it. They lose every match that they're in, but just to get to see the two of these guys at WrestleKingdom was fun.
Chris, thoughts?
They won the 6-man in night one. That was an important match. They talked all kinds of
I
shit
wouldn't.
walking away. No, they actually told the story here.
Yep.
Right? Like he had to kind of chip away and chip away and chip away. And then when he finally started really chipping away, Jeff Cobb started throwing big, heavy bombs and he couldn't fucking hit him. You know what I mean? It was just like, the big guy kind of gassed out and the little guy fucking outpaced him. And being a relatively large man, it's happens quite often. It was pretty good. I like this.
Yeah. Chip it away, chip it away, chip it away now.
That's right.
Jeff Cobb, sadly, for real injured his knee. He's going to be out. So, R.I.P. Jeff Cobb.
Oh, man.
Big boys with bad knees. That's not a good combo. Seventh match, 60-minute time limit. The IWGP U.S. Heavyweight Championship. No DQ match. The challenger, Hiroshi Tanahashi, defeats Kenta and leaves them bloody and buried. Brandon, thoughts?
Oh, boy. This was almost tough to watch throughout. They started off the Kendo 6. Even Tanahashi came out, on the better end of this one. Taking a beating of this magnitude at his age is tough. Kenta pretty much falls fucking face first off of a ladder into a garbage can. You can immediately see his nose is very broken. There's just blood smeared all over a table that he went through. So it got a nice cut on him. This was fucking entertaining. I have respect for them for going through this, but I don't think we want to hear Tanahashi compared to Terry Funk very often in the late stage of his career, which happened during this match.
Yeah, please don't. Chris, thoughts?
So, I've seen this match, and we've seen this match a million times, but we've never seen it with Tana. So it's just kind of odd. It was painful, like physically. Like that wasn't painful to watch. Well, it was, but not bad. I was just like, oh God, no, the whole time. Kenta pulls out a ladder. It's like 147 stories high. I don't know where
the fuck did they find this ladder? It was a 40-foot ladder. And it's a Japanese ladder, so it's got all kind. He can't work it. He's asking Red Shoes to help him. He's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This match was amazing.
You guys ever see any shit like that? It's like looking at their fucking Red Shoes. He's like, you ever seen a ladder like this? How do these things open up?
He sling blades. I think he sling blade Kenta into a bunch of chairs. That was like, oh God, why? But I liked it. It was done for my benefit.
I fucking love this match.
This was good.
I was laughing. It's worth the price of admission. Kenta falling off the fucking. Well, first of all, he does the Falcon Arrow onto the table. His leg almost gets caught underneath the table. Might have. I'll tell you in a minute why. He gets thrown off the fucking giant ladder that he spent friggin'. The match is 22 minutes and 40 seconds. I think he spent 2 minutes and 40 seconds putting that ladder up, complaining to Red Shoes. Doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He gets to the top. He gets thrown off. And then we get Tanahashi doing a high fly flow onto a table from the giant ladder. This is a man whose hips don't work. His knees don't work. He's up on this 40-foot ladder, rocking back and forth, and does a high fly flow. This match was fucking fun. It's definitely worth watching just to see that spot and to see Kenta almost die. I fucking love this. Brandon, get back to you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, it was a blast. However, it doesn't sound like you were wincing throughout it as much as I was, because I just kept thinking, holy shit, these guys are 40 and 47 years old and just getting absolutely blasted. What did he dislocate a hip or something? Like, that doesn't just heal. These are like, it's a big fucking deal, man.
Final count. Kenta's going to be out for a while. He dislocated his hip, broke his nose, several lacerations. I think he's got some elbow issue. So he really got the shit kicked out of him. He hit that fucking dude. When they showed him, they're like, oh, he's got I think Kevin Kelly's like, he hits this trash can on a weird angle when he's going off the top rope. And Kevin Kelly's like, I think it's above his eye. I could see it was coming out of his nose. And as somebody who's had that fucking break across the bridge of your nose, that shit is gnarls, man. That is fucking nasty. Chris, thoughts?
No, I just, two guys in the early stages of their careers going through this.
I love it.
They did it all for us.
Yes, they did. They did it for our entertainment. They did. Tana will do anything to entertain us.
Yes.
And he came out and he did a promo afterwards, and he said, basically saying, like, I've reached a dark place. I didn't want to go there, but I won the title that I needed. Now let's move on. It's basically, I love it.
Best.
He's the fucking best.
He is.
Speaking of the best, Here we go.
Hold on, Jim. I have a question. When your nose breaks like that, does it feel like can you feel the total disconnect, or is it like,
well, you don't,
I always feel like when it's,
you don't want to touch it. That shit hurts too much. Like it's split, but yeah, it's not good to touch it at all.
I'm just imagining that fucking,
like all the tissue around it fucking just blows up. You end up looking like a fucking raccoon real quick. So, have fun. Let's move on. Eighth match, 60-minute time limit, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. The champ, current champ, can he defend it? Kazuchika Okada beats the challenger Will Ospreay, 32 minutes, almost 33 minutes with a Rainmaker. Brandon's thoughts.
Yeah, New Japan hits the great reset button here. Reel it back. Let's forgive us for our sins of the last two nights and the last year. So we're going back to Okada as champion, much needed in my opinion. Pretty good for what it was. Will Ospreay could, if he would learn to slow the hell down and maybe sell a little bit, could have been a lot better. Known as not much of a fan of Billy the Birdman. I don't want to shit on this whole thing. The match was entertaining, but those are my thoughts. It was what it was.
Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I think Brandon just nailed it. He's still. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. I'm glad Okada won. I thought Okada was going to lose. Not taking into consideration he won the night before. I just wasn't really thinking about that, but I could just see myself being very disappointed in the fact that how it ended. It was more of course it's going to go this way. It's going to make me mad. Not that, but I mean, it's the same problem that, it's the same problem I have with Ricochet is the one I have with Will Ospreay, which is the constant overdoing the flipping and flying and not selling shit. And then I think Okada almost reeled it in. It looked like, to me, it was almost like Okada. If it wasn't for Okada, that match would have been absolutely it would have been a zoo. If it was anybody else, it wouldn't have been controlled at all. You got Ospreay, who's the big time heel for them. He's going out there. He's working like a baby face, flippy floppy baby face. Is still a junior heavyweight. He's like unchained Kenny Omega is Will Ospreay at this point. But like Brandon said, they reeled it back in and they kind of like reset everything to where it was before, and all is right in the world in New Japan. You got Okada as the champion. Not that I had a problem with Shingo, but I guess he's the guy you're going to have build a like a wrestling company around. It's definitely Okada.
So I disagree with both of you guys. I thought this match was fucking brilliant. I thought it was absolutely amazing. I thought Okada is by far, he proved it over these two nights. He's by far the best professional wrestler on the planet. He can work any style. Fast, slow, power, goofy. He did fucking Broken Okada with balloons. He did fucking Money Clip Okada. And now he's back to being a combination of all of it. He's got it all in there. He looks fantastic. This fucking match I loved it. It was the perfect match to say, the world will get better because Okada's here and COVID's going to go away. Okada is the cure for COVID. I thought it was fucking beautiful. Of course, I have personal issues with Ospreay. I don't like that his entire moveset is finishers. It's stupid. Oz Cutter, Blade Thing, back Flippo Rooney, whatever the fuck his moves are. They're all finishers, but the match was fucking fantastic because Okada dictated most of the pace. It was great. I fucking love this. And at the end of the match, he does a promo where he's like, it's our 50th year and it's great. And he starts crying. He's like, I hope fucking Antonio Inoki can make it get better. Come here and get better. I'm dying to see you, Antonio Inoki. This would be amazing for our 50th anniversary. This is great. This is fantastic. I fucking love this. Will Ospreay being a fucking penis aside. Brandon?
No, I don't have too much else. We disagree. That's okay. I'm glad that we do. You're 10 hours in. You get your standard 30 to 35 minute. The guy that everyone thought was going to win takes the belt after everyone was kind of pissed off for 7 of the 9 hours before then, in my opinion. You could only go so high from there within that space with one of the two actors in the or wrestlers in the ring being a little bit of a shithead in and out of the ring. Okada did a great job, but no, I wouldn't go as far as brilliant. I'm like, okay, it's 30 minutes. This is going to round out in 2 minutes, and here it comes, and they have to reset because it's fucking sucked for 12 months, and that was kind of more how I felt about it. If you could extract more from that, fuck yeah, I'm glad that you did. maybe I was a grouch.
Chris, thoughts?
No, I think you made a point in there that I had made too. I think we agreed in that the fact that the key point of this match and was Okada being able to make it as good as it was. I didn't say it was a bad match. I just I see the same things that you see with Ospreay, where I never even really thought about it the way you said it, where everything he does is a finisher, and that's a perfect way to articulate it. But when I see him do that, it takes me out completely. You know what I mean? And if it had been, I think, anybody else in the ring with Ospreay, I would have probably been looking at my phone most of that match.
I also like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm giving all the credit in the world for a decent match to Okada. Is what I'm doing.
Right. I like the sequence where they started really laying the elbows too at one point, where they did a decent strike exchange. That was pretty cool. Maybe I'm washed away in the fact that we're resetting. Maybe it's because Okada's on top and we're taking everything away and we're getting rid of it. Maybe New Japan's going to come out of here. If excuse me, we talked about last week the interview with Kevin Kelly where they got a lot of plans as long as they can get out of this. As soon as they can get out of this, we can the COVID situation, which who knows if that's ever going to end. They've got lots and lots of plans, and Okada is the one at the front of it. And Okada's like, I think he's mid-30s. You know what I mean? Like, he's still super young for a professional wrestler. I'm into it.
And
Bad
also
thing.
a decade in. Sorry. And also a decade in. To
Right.
like a massive.
And as I was saying, the Empire, they were 0 everything in this fucking thing, which is good to see. I loved it. Over everything. They suck. They suck so bad. Except for Jeff Cobb. He's cool.
The green and gold shit just kind of looks bad. I don't know why, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, what is that? What's the representation with the green?
I don't know. Just like the money team, I guess. They're
I guess, yeah. Big bucks.
Cash and gold. Like the cash for gold team.
Yeah. His fucking he looks like fucking what's his name? Who's the guy that's boxing now that used to be a YouTube guy? That's who he looks like. He looks like a British Cockney version
Jake Paul.
of Jake Paul. That's who he looks like. With his shitty hair that doesn't have any conditioner in it. Fucking ridiculous. All right, let's see.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Overall grade for the show. Like Brandon, let's go with what are your top 3 matches for this show?
Okay, top 3 matches. Yeah, I think number 1 I'm going to have to go Tanahashi, Kenta. Just out of respect for just what those two dudes did, it was insane. Like that was the one thing out of all of this that I was like, I've never seen anything like that, especially like Chris said, when you consider the characters involved. Number 2, I will go Okada versus Shingo I'm sorry. I think I'll probably take the night 2 Okada versus Ospreay as the more important of the 2 matches, considering what you said. Like it finally is like the sun's coming up over the hills there. And number 3, I'll go Desperado Takahashi. I don't want to go double Okada because in the top 3 there. So
yeah, my top 3 is just your top 3, just different order. Okada Ospreay, Okada Shingo, and then Despian and Hiromu. Chris.
Yeah, so let's go. The third one I'm going to say.
Ishii Evil.
I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
The king of pro wrestling. Minoru Suzuki beating everybody up. And then let's go. I agree. Let's go Ospreay and Okada. And then I got to go with the latter. That fucking ladder, man.
Sorry, I said the wrong matches. I agree with Brandon. I said the wrong matches. No, I have Okada and Ospreay. Then I have Kenta and what's his name? And Tanahashi and Despy and sorry, I said the wrong matches.
O'Connor.
Yeah, O'Connor.
O'Connor
roll.
O'Doyle rules.
Overall grade, Brandon. What'd you think of the show?
This is really tough to rate. I'm just gonna go right down the middle with a B here. I think the floors were too low for the highs to be as high as they could have been, if that makes sense. If you're mapping it out like a fucking curve here, it's sunk too far down far too often for it to ever get up to where it would need to give it an A. But New Japan Wrestle Kingdom, Tokyo Dome, I couldn't go just a C. That's where I'm at.
Chris?
Yeah,
overall grade.
I'm going to give it a C.
Right down the middle.
Go for it.
Yeah, right down the middle. I mean, because like I said, the problem is that this is going to be the way that they do things from now on. Whether it be, WWE or New Japan, they're going to be doing these, multiple night big shows, and they fucking suck.
They do. Well, let's talk about that now then.
And they're gonna keep doing them. This is, you don't go backwards, you only go forwards, right? Now that we've done 2, let's do 3. Right?
Yeah, let's talk about
5 years from now, WrestleMania will be 5 days. It'll be a whole week.
Thank God I don't watch WWE. I don't have to watch it.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Yeah, so numbers come out. Sales for night 1 were, I think there were 15,000. Mind you, it's limited seating. And for night 2, it was half. Now, it'd be fun to say it's because it's Will Ospreay's in the main event. That's not the reason why. It's because it was back-to-back wrestling days. Your diehards are only going on day 2. Your quote-unquote casual wrestling fan's going to go to the first one because it's a big deal. Italian, January 4th. It's a big fucking day for professional wrestling. People are going to go see it. It's starting to fucking wear, man. These back-to-back days, it can't keep going. I don't think it's going to keep going. It can't. Eventually, they're going to get to a point where they got full capacity, where Tokyo Dome is going to be 40,000 people, and then night 2 is going to be 10,000, and you're just going to be like, "What are we doing? Let's just raise the price." You know what I mean? Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, it almost makes me angry. We've talked about this before, but how much of a pile of shit it's become to take something that people know and love and just drag it out over the course of 10 hours. There's only even if all of the matches are great, there's only so much dopamine to be extracted from the human mind that after 10 hours you're going to be burnt out. And they weren't great. A lot of it wasn't great. So beyond that, you just can't help. Like I mentioned earlier, it feels like a Road to Wrestle Kingdom show or something where you're just like, why are we now just calling shit that is not what Wrestle Kingdom represents Wrestle Kingdom and throwing it in there? So it's frustrating, man. There's like 18 hours of shit this week.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's like both of the shows. I think they both had 8 matches, but only 4 of them were watchable. Were like they felt special. 4 on each night. Well, just take those 4 specials, 4 special feeling matches, stick them together. You get one amazing card. If we had the Stardom match come in second behind, I don't know, Shibata and his surprise match, and then stack that card, it would have been one of the best fucking shows ever, but they stretched it out. We got 6-man matches. We got Evil doing his stupid ass bullshit. And listen, I get it. Fucking Evil's a character, and you're going to watch Evil matches. You're going to expect this to happen. He must be selling merch because he's still around. But, it's like, I don't know. You're stretching yourself thin when you don't have anybody to bring in. That's it. Oh, I just made a song. You stretching yourself thin when you ain't got nobody to bring in.
I quit.
Chris, thoughts?
No, you guys hit it. I there's not really much to add. You just do these. It makes it so that it's not special, right?
Right. That's the problem.
Like when we saw New Japan down at 2,300 and I saw the card, I was like, what the fuck? This sucks. I almost don't even want to go. And then I realized it doesn't matter what happens. It's a house show. You're going to see all your favorite New Japan dudes. Who gives a shit? Because really, it's not even about, like, for me, sometimes when you go to Wrestling Live, it's not even about the the matches themselves. It's about just seeing the dudes, and it's about the entrances, and you watch them get their shit in. You know what I mean? And you eat a hot dog, and you watch Kenta come out of the wrong curtain and go, "Oh shit," and run into the other curtain. But when it's Wrestle Kingdom, everything has to mean something. So when you
it's
get
not a house show, man.
It's not.
Wrestle Kingdom's not a house show. If I'm going to see Tenzan and fucking Master Watts and all these guys wrestle at 2300 Arena, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Right.
If it's the biggest day of the year where I did not stay up all night, but I'm possibly getting up and I'm staying up all night. Or if I'm in Tokyo, I bought expensive tickets. I'm in a stadium where I can't even see the fucking show. I'm there for the environment and the show stinks. Why would I want to go back? They got to clean the shit up. And a lot of it has to do with COVID. But like you said, Chris, and we've talked about it before, I don't think you go back. I think it's like we've already established 2 nights.
So you say it too. Like, it's like, all right, it's not, we've gone to 2 nights now. I don't think that it was, I mean, maybe if it wasn't for COVID, you would have had so much of an influx of foreign talent that every match would have been more exciting. But I mean, wouldn't you, it's just, I don't know. At no point, don't you call an audible? At no point should Tenzan ever be on Wrestle Kingdom.
But they need him because they don't have anybody.
So don't have that match.
But you got to have 8.
You don't. I understand what you're saying. But you don't. At no point does any of these fucking matches need to take place. None of these fucking 6-mans needed to take place it's just, you want to have them. They're dark matches. Don't even fucking advertise them. I think that was remarkably something. They give you something and then they go, "Oh no, this is good." No, you're not fooling anybody. This is shit.
This is filler. It was a lot of filler. Okay, Brandon.
I think that was remarkably close to a translated version of like the boardroom conversation that happened where one guy's yelling, "You don't have fucking Tenzan at Wrestle Kingdom." The other guy goes, "You gotta have 8. God damn it, he's right. Call him. You gotta have 8.
Well, guess what? We got 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. You want me to go through the card, or you want to wait till you guys watch it? Because you're not going to really watch it, so it doesn't make a difference.
I'm not going through the whole available for free, right? Like this weekend.
It'll be available on Wrestle Kingdom starting, I believe.
Don't say Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, sorry, Wrestle.
Please don't say that word.
Not Wrestle. Oh, it'll be available on Wrestle Universe and New Japan World starting next week.
Yeah, go through it. I'm gonna lose my lust for life if I have another 15-hour wrestling fucking week coming up at it.
All right, let's talk about some the most important stuff. Yuji Nagata, Kojima, and Tenzan versus now. So it's a bunch of house. It's a bunch of house show card. It's like a big house show card. There was a couple of standout matches. One is Gato and Taiji Ishimori. Now, mind you, all these guys, Taiji Ishimori was in Noah. He made his name in Noah against Seiki Yoshioka and Hayata. Now, Hayata is fucking awesome. This dude rules. So that's a fun match to watch. There's a good match between Doki. Anything that involves Suzuki-gun is fun because they were in Noah for a long time. So that was fun. They did have an issue. So Kenta got hurt, and he was supposed to be on Team Sugiura, which is a team. It had the match. The match was Minoru Suzuki's team versus Sugiura's team with Sakuraba, which you guys are familiar with. He's from MMA, very, very famous MMA man. And they have Kenta was supposed to be on that team. Kenta is hurt. So who do they bring out? Surprise! We're going to bring out a surprise guy. Who could it be? It's Toru Yano. Fucking terrible. It's so stupid.
Woo!
Yeah, if you're going to watch anything, just go out of your way and watch the faction match. So it's Los Ingobernables de Japón versus Congo. That's fucking fun. That's a fun match. That's the only one I say go out of your way and see. This was a very fun show. It was interesting. It was jam-packed. The crowd was fucking into it. You could see how important these two companies are, and it was fun to see all these guys together. You know what wasn't fun? Kenji Muto in the ring. He's fucking terrible. This dude needs to just hang it up. It was awful. Brandon,
Really?
thoughts, question.
I was gonna ask you about that. That's stiff. We saw him. I don't know what was it now? 2.5 years ago already. At 2,300.
House of Hardcore
Didn't
Impact or something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It didn't look great, but didn't look bad. I mean, they were working him through his spots. Pretty tough sledding out there for
the dude.
Keiji Muto.
I think the dude's 58 years old. He's had double knee and double hip replacement. He can't move worth shit, man. He's just out there hunched over. It's not good. It ain't good. It's bad.
Who does he wrestle? Tenzan?
No, I wish. Broken knees, broken ankles, broken hips. No, it's Tanahashi and Okada versus Kaito Kiyomiya and Kenji Muto. Now, Kaito Kiyomiya is like this. He's like 24, and he was the champ for a while. He puts in most of the work, and he's fun to watch. But Kenji Muto is just like grandpa on the.
But then he's dragging the geese around, the geezer around the.
Oh my god! What a fucking. Yeah, it wasn't great. Go home, Kenji. This is a fun show, though. I mean, I enjoyed it. I actually bought the pay-per-view. It was $30. Brandon we were supposed to watch together. Circumstances ended up not happening. I figured it out. It took me a long time to even figure out how to get the link to watch it.
Okay.
It was in my junk folder.
Email it to you. They spam the link.
It was a fucking nightmare. My wife was working on it, and my wife had too much wine, so she couldn't help me anymore. And I'm just sitting there sweating sitting down cross-legged in front of my giant television with a computer trying to figure out that son of a bitch. I can't get it. That's a fucking thing. And all of a sudden I went into spam. I was like, oh, there it is. I just clicked on the link, tagged in, and boom, it was on my screen.
All caps, exclamation points all around it. Click this link. We got Geezer Muda in here.
Click this link. I am your cousin from Japan. I have $3,155 million for you. Send me your email address. Oh, they already got my email address. All right, let's move on. All right, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Meltzer? You want to talk about did you guys check out that Saya Kamatani video? Let's do that. Did you check it out?
Yes.
I did not.
All right. Will you watch it while I talk to Chris? Go ahead, watch it now. Put it on. It's on your phone. So Saya Kamatani, she, we just talked about her. She was in the WrestleKingdom show. Mm-hmm. She was in the match. She hit the Golden Phoenix. She's the Golden Phoenix. She hits the Phoenix Splash. So she says, I'm going to go into promoter Ogawa. What's his name? The fuck's his name? Ogawa. Well, I'm going to go into his
creepy guy is what his name is.
Creepy old man. I'm going to go into his office and I'm going to demand a match against Kota Ibushi right now. So she goes in and she goes, excuse me, I really want a match against Kota Ibushi because I'm the queen of Wrestle Kingdoms. And to her left is a person draped in what looks like white towels.
Towels.
Like they just got out of the sauna. And he's going, I'm speaking to a very important person. And Kamitani goes, and leaves and goes, I just saw somebody very important. And then leaves. Chris thoughts. Who do you think it is?
Should I blurt it out?
Yes, because we're going to talk about Meltzer. We're going to talk about Meltzer fuck ups in a minute, but go ahead.
All right, so I could be completely off, and this is the only person that I would think of because of where my knowledge of wrestling is based, but Kairi Sane.
Yes, very good choice. Yes. Kairi Hojo, Kairi Sane. It's definitely her.
1/3 of the Black Lotus triad.
Yes, it's definitely her. Brandon, did you watch?
Yeah, I just watched it.
Okay. So who do you think it is?
Tenzan.
It was just a broken ankle with fucking towels over their head.
Fucking Tenzan.
It's got to be Kairi Sane. This is exciting.
I would assume so. Very exciting.
This parlays right into my next point. Meltzer been fucking up lately. So Meltzer said months ago that Kairi Sane's fucking contract was up. This week he said, no, it's not. He never said he was wrong. He just said, no, it's not. It's not up for another month.
Who told you that?
Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, we haven't talked about Meltzer in a while. I mean, he must not be doing that bad. He hasn't blatantly botched anything for a little while. But I mean, heck, everybody's got to be fucking fired at WWE. How many connections could he possibly have left? Right? There's like 10 people working there. I think that's probably what we're getting. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. I forgot about the list of people that got fired. We'll talk about that too. Also, he said on his Observer magazine, typed out 1 million fucking letters, he was discussing Katsuyori Shibata, and he said that Katsuyori Shibata's brain was removed during surgery and put back into his head. A la Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, just
sorry, don't call me
spinal cord
Frankenstein. Call me Frankenstein.
Oh my God!
Maybe that's why he decided to, like, on the fly say, "I want a real match right now," because he had an abnormal brain in his head. Chris, good.
Go ahead. I don't even know how to respond to that. Like, what the fuck? Go ahead. What?
Brandon, thoughts?
What do you think about Dave Meltzer theorizing that Shibata's brain got put in like a big like thing of fucking, what is that called? Formaldehyde. They operated on his body and then stitched it back together and fired back up like a fucking PC.
They attached eyeballs to it so he could watch his own surgery.
Like the hard drive on it. Yeah. Or they just yanked
the brain
like,
with the eyeballs floating
spinal cord like a rubber band, and they just pull it out, dig clean out underneath, and snaps back into place.
I'm trying to think. There was a movie? Wasn't there a movie where like the brain was in like and had eyeballs connected to it, and it was in like a cylinder with water like. Come on, it's one of our classics. I just can't remember what one it is.
I don't remember.
I don't know. All I'm thinking of is fucking Saturn V right now.
Yeah.
Kid coming in like a robot.
I'm thinking Alita Battle Angel. That happens too. It's absolutely insane.
I think Ted Williams' brain's floating around somewhere cryogenically.
It is. Tenzon's ankles are cryogenically frozen. That's why he could keep wrestling.
That's when you're like, oh, this is a guy that's been watching pro wrestling every day for 50 years and has no idea how anything works.
How science works. He's like, oh, I remember when I was a kid and there was this movie about a doctor and he took a brain, stuck it in a monster and built, and there was a world windmill on fire.
I hope whoever sent him that. The windmill on fire. I hope whoever sent him that information got a good laugh out of it. He's like, yeah, apparently they took a guy's fucking brain out of his head. Meltzer's just like, what? Logs into his fucking compact PC.
I've seen a movie like that. This is him typing. Jesus Christ. I hate him so much.
I don't know what to say.
Let's move on. Okay, so we're going to talk about Dynamite.
Why?
No, there's some stuff to talk about. I know Brandon doesn't really want to talk about it, but we'll talk about it a little bit. Hangman Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, this is the one thing I will talk about. I thought this match was fucking great. Again, considering not being the person that's burnt out that watched 10 hours of WrestleKingdom, the guy that's scrolling through cable TV on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock and flips this on. It was fucking exciting. They didn't go the way I wanted to, but who the fuck cares about that? They do something here. Bryan Danielson looks absolutely incredible. Yeah, you could say Okada's better after WrestleKingdom, but I think he's pretty clearly established right now as the best American wrestler. So, I was satisfied with the match. That 30-minute mark, much better, played much better than the 60 that they did before.
Chris, thoughts?
So we're getting ourselves into a position where Bryan Danielson can't close the deal?
I don't think so. I think we're more of in a position where, what's the name's proving himself.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they can go. I mean, I'm just saying.
The story they'll tell, him being a heel, he's a heel. He's supposed to lose eventually.
He's supposed to lose. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you only tell they can't close the deal story if you're a babyface.
Right.
Okay.
I'm looking, if you're just listening to this, which I think is everyone, Jimmy has a setup on Skype here where we're sitting at a wooden table, all facing the same direction. And I'm
still look like that?
I'm tempted to just start that's all I can still see.
I think that's on yours.
Look at the top of your. No, I set it up, and me and Brandon were having a laugh at it.
Oh, I'm still in together mode.
Together mode. Yeah, I turned mine off.
Together.
Too distracted.
I'm making myself laugh when Chris talks. I turn this way, and then when Jimmy talks, I turn this
way. Is that why your head keeps going there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good
I'm trying, Lizards. I'm trying to set us up on YouTube. We're going to stream on YouTube, but I wanted to look a certain way, so I was fucking around with it earlier, and I found together mode, and you can only do it with backgrounds. So at one point we were sitting at like an ice castle. We were sitting next to each other. Yeah, I kind of want us all side by side. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3. We record on Skype, and on my side I'm a giant head, and you guys are the small heads. On your side, are you the giant head?
So the way I do it is I have it on. I'll tell you which because I don't know what your description.
I go grid view.
So I go grid view. So I'm
on grid view.
It's in thirds. You two are. I'm half of my screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You're the big head.
You two were thirds of my screen.
Little heads.
Yeah.
But I want to do
not that
it.
Much littler. It's actually, I think our heads are the same size. It's just that you can see more of my picture. Is what it is. It cuts you guys out.
No, I mean I do have a massive head, but no, I want us to be like right down the middle, so I can put us on YouTube and we're all equal.
Just get us on fucking YouTube.
Okay.
I think you're the host. You're the host. You can go big.
You're the one who does it. You do all the work.
Boob tube. All right. Oh, by the way, yeah, I love the match. I love that it was a different outcome. Oh, by the way, I'm talking about Paige and Danielson. I love that it was a different outcome. There was a shit ton of blood. Yeah, this is pretty damn good. This was a great opening match to heat up a crowd so they could watch fucking garbage for the rest of it. So I'm going to
3.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm scanning through to find the good shit. Okay, so TBS Championship Tournament. Ruby Soho against Jade Cargill. Boy, oh boy, oh. Brandon, I got to say, I mean, I love Jade Cargill. I think she's fucking fantastic. And she's been built up to be this like giant monster, overpowering person. And that's great. And she had her kid ringside. It was a great win for her. This match was fucking terrible. Oh, by the way, Bleacher Report check. They rated it a C, which is which is okay. This match fucking sucked. Brandon, good.
Yeah. I mean, you nailed it. This was really hard to watch. She's like, I keep thinking of what did Chris say? She moved like an orc.
An orc.
She moves like a goddamn Urukai.
She can't fucking figure out where her feet are at, and it's like the match ends on a spot where it's like Ruby Soho was just like feeding her right arm, feeding her left arm.
You know what? Oh, sorry.
Pick her up, and then I don't want to be fucking Mr. Skin here, but they cut to she pins her, and Jade Cargill's vagina is just completely hanging out, and I'm watching it with City like, oh god, this is a goddamn mess, dude.
That was awesome. That was the best spot of the match.
And she gets the pin and completely like goes and covers herself up. I'm like, did they just cut to a leg spread vagina out in Jade Cargill?
I was into it. Chris, thoughts?
So first of all, if you're
hold on. I just want to reiterate real fast before you make your thoughts. Bleacher Report rated this a C.
If you're
what the D is, good.
If you're going to have a championship match, don't show the children of one of the competitors because you just blew the fucking outcome.
That's true. Yeah.
Show them afterwards. Right? Number one. Number two, when Jade Cargill gave Ruby Soho the finisher off the top rope, I thought she fucking killed her.
Yeah.
That was rough. I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, the setup was, like you said, it was like, here's my left arm, and now here is my right arm. Not good, dude. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, this is on TV. This isn't a fucking rec hall. This isn't a practice stadium. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking terrible. Thoroughly disappointing fucking tournament. There were some good spots, but This was all a vehicle to make Jade Cargill win, which is fine, but we sat there and we talked about it last week, Brandon. You can watch a Stardom show and you're just like, the scale is so different between AEW's wrestlers and a company like Stardom and WWE's wrestlers. Like, you can do this. It can be done. You can create great professional wrestlers. You just got to work on it. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, exactly. That's the frustrating part about this is it's not that this doesn't exist and this is just the current state of women's wrestling. It's, oh man, Jade Cargill is the champion. Now she's going to be on TBS every week.
I guess it sells tickets.
And then
Chris, go ahead. Final thoughts.
Then our boy Tony Khan compares her to Goldberg.
Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. The guy just.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Goldberg won like 68 straight or 69 straight.
Billion 69. What 69 straight matches?
69 straight.
Goldberg.
420 straight matches. All right, let's move on. Not good. Do better. How about this one? Brian Pillman Jr. versus Malachi Black, Brandon. Yeah, remember that time? Remember that time Brian Pillman Jr. tried to do his finisher and it just fell on his face? That was amazing.
Ugh.
Dude, this show just like legit went in the fucking toilet after the opening match.
It really did, and it pretty much fucking continued through Rampage on Friday. But the only good thing about this is that you actually do have me excited that all of these people are going to get converted to the dark side. I think my favorite part about this match was Julie Hart coming out with the fucking pirate eye patch.
Pirate patch.
Still,
I like it. Yeah. I don't know. There's some guys that are like Ring of Honor guys that are out there that are rumored to be coming over. Who knows what happens?
Just what we need.
Yeah, more dudes. We just need
some
more
shit ass
dudes.
fucking Ring of Honor.
I want every match in AEW to be just like that Ishii versus Evil match. Just dudes. Dude upon dude. Coming into the ring, punching dicks. As long as there's dude on dick, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I think
Speaking of another fucking match. AEW Tag Team Championship match. Lucha Bros lose to Jurassic Express and one of our favorite wrestlers in AEW, Phoenix arm, gets dislocated on television. Good times. Brandon, thoughts?
Woo, this made me wince. This was brutal.
Yes,
His shit explodes, man. You could hear him screaming out there. I mean, they had to get out of it. I don't know if that ending was planned or not. I feel bad, man. Ray Phoenix is one of my favorite, but I mean, I don't know how old he is. He's got a little bit of a tummy on him. He's flying all over the place. There's a lot of weight going on in those joints. So I can't say I was shocked that his joints are starting to give out on him. But man, that was tough to watch. I had to look away. So
yeah,
fucking Jungle Boy's a champ, I guess.
Yes, he is. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I would hope that this is an audible, because I mean, fucking Jungle Boy and fucking Luchasaurus are like pin eat. You got the King Pin Eater and Luchasaurus, the monster that always loses. Everybody's afraid of. He shows up in a ring and everybody gets scared that he loses the match. It's so fucking stupid. I hate it. I mean, look, because you have 3 decent tag teams in that division now. Yeah, I mean, 4 Young Bucks are annoying as hell, but if you put them in a good situation, the shit that they do all the time ends up still being entertaining if they're in there with somebody. Case in point, the cage match last year.
Right.
But now you have Red Dragon, always good, right? And then you have these guys. I think Jungle Boy, and it just doesn't really make sense that it's like I don't think that was the plan. This is pure conjecture, obviously, but I don't think that was the plan. I think that Ray Phoenix got hurt and they called the fucking audible because it was a shitty ass roll up that ended up being the win.
Right.
And because you just took Jungle Boy, nothing against Jungle Boy, but you just took Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, which are a dog as a tag team, and you put the belt on them when you have this incredibly stacked tag team division without them.
Right.
Like they don't even fit into the fucking equation. Jungle Boy should be going doing something else. And then you have Red Dragon, you have FTR, you have fucking the Lucha Brothers, you have the Young Bucks. Who else is in there? You have even look, say what you will about them, but you have like Varsity Blondes can eat some
Private
pins.
Party.
The rapping guys can eat some pins. The Private Party can eat some pins. Matt Hardy can waddle around the ring.
The Seidel's.
The Seidel brothers. Oh God.
Oh, wait. Was it on Dynamite or was it on Rampage? El Idolo's promo.
I'm watching the show in a haze anymore, especially last
Brandon,
week. So,
do you remember?
It was on Rampage.
Oh, it was on Rampage. Okay, we'll get to it. All right, let's move on. So, speaking of injuries, we move right into Jake Atlas on Rampage versus Jake Atlas's main, I guess, quote unquote, main roster premiere against Adam Cole. Jake Atlas is flying all over the place. The dude fucking rules, blows his knee up. Adam Cole throws him in a like ankle knee bar for the quick tap out. It's kind of sucked that this ended this way. People are just getting fucking injured all over AEW, man. If it's not COVID, it's fucking knees. Chris, thoughts? I see you raising your hand.
oh no, I mean, I saw the video where that happened. I saw Adam Cole puts him in that ankle lock and then screams at him the tap.
Yeah.
Just tap.
Yeah. He just, you could tell he's
And
like he put the worst, like it just like wasn't laying into it at all. He just like held onto his leg.
He gave him that ankle lock. But if I have to, I'm sorry to go into the real world, but if I had to listen to them call that a fucking knee bar anymore,
Chris is a WWE knee bar.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's
It
not.
is.
That doesn't do anything to your knee. You're bending the knee in the direction the knee's supposed to bend.
Chris, it's not real fighting.
This stuff is out there now. Do better.
It's all fantasy fighting.
Oh my God. All right, so I agree with you. So what you're saying is when he hits him with a punch, Jim Ross should call it a kick.
Well, not really. He should
I'm with Chris on this.
Maybe you should call it a forearm. Well, you guys are UFC guys, and I'm not, so it doesn't really faze me at all.
It's so
I see it, I'm
annoying.
like, okay, it's kind of an. I guess
It's not even kind of a knee bar. It's wrong.
It's an ankle twist, I guess.
Fucking ankle lock. There's a
well, what he was doing was a lay your leg in my armpit move.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
Yeah. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, it's just like I think why I'm with Chris on that is just because it's like just give me some part of this that makes sense because this is the 8th time in a row where it's like they squeeze in one of these matches where it's a jobber versus one of their major stars, and I
wouldn't say Jake Atlas is a jobber. Jake Atlas is going to be a big deal in this company.
Okay, a person with no real credibility on the TV show that should be hyper focused on defeating their opponent because somehow. No one knows who the fuck they are, but they're in this major match with one of the big names in the company. And they wrestle the first part of this match, and Jake Atlas is toe-to-toe with them. And this is a story that they like to tell that gets on my nerves, where it's like, I'm just as good as you. And then it's always something like, so Jake Atlas starts taunting Adam Cole and puts his hand in his face, and he's like, and this is why now he loses, and he gets kicked in the fucking leg and gets beat up from there and pinned. It's like, that's who the character you just showed us for the first time is. That's how you're supposed to walk away from this. You're just as good as Adam Cole, but you forgot that you were on TV and you could lose and you start taunting and now you got beat. That's what the story is.
It could be just that he's overconfident in his abilities and his abilities failed him.
Right, but like that's so insanely dumb that you would be like, I've never wrestled before, and this guy, all I know about him is, or even his record's 21-2 or whatever it is. It's like we just came to a draw. Now I'm going to stop participating in a match and taunt and turn my back to him. And it's like now this is the story of it. It's like I don't like this thing where it's like this is the best guy. This guy's never been on the show, but for 8 minutes they're dead equal until someone makes a very obvious mistake, and that's how it ends. What does that tell you about anyone? That nobody's that good? That everybody like what am I supposed to extract from this?
Well, they all got fired from WWE, so they can't be that good.
Well, I'm in agreement with Brandon though that they do this thing where it's like, not everybody's good. right? Like not everybody is the best. It's almost like everybody's at the same level of like skill. Like there are dudes like, you know, let's say like, you know, because they do records. There are going to be guys like that captain dude that has no wins. He has no wins. There's a reason why he has no wins, because he's not as good as Adam Cole.
Who's the captain guy?
The captain guy. You know, the captain. Captain guy was in the ring when CM Punk came in. He was wrestling MJF, and CM Punk came in and ruined the match. We'll talk about it, I guess. I don't give a shit. But his name is Captain. Captain, and he goes like this.
Oh, wait.
It's such an 80s jobber thing. I love it because it's almost like it's, you know, it's Barry O. It's I'm not going to say the other guy's name from Dark Side of the Ring, but it's Barry O.
Captain Sean Dean.
It's Barry Horowitz. It's SD Jones, and he would do the guns, finger guns, and then you have Captain Sean Dean. Is that his name? And he salutes. So why is he a captain? But that like
captain of the Miltree.
But that's why the captain guy, like you have to have bums. Right? Yeah. Not everybody is and why? I agree with Brandon. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Go ahead. And why what?
I don't know. I'm just going to start going off into a
You don't watch the match and go, wow, that Steve Blackman was almost as good as The Rock if he didn't start taunting him. It's like someone has to get their fucking ass kicked, man.
Yeah,
I agree. They I think Atlas he got too much offense in. There you go. I just surmised everything that you guys were yelling about. I think he did get too much off.
You know, there's like
I like Jake Atlas. I do enjoy Jake Atlas. I think that he could be a very good upper mid card star with this company, but he's out there fucking sassing fucking. He's healing the heel. It didn't make any sense.
The quintessential shitbag heel. Right? Don't you have
stab
to come
you in the
out?
back as soon as he gets a chance?
Oh yeah, he's a fucking horrible human being. But you were gonna, and that's, you know what? I think it's a thing that's lost to the generation, like to me, where it's like sometimes I really need the definition of what it's that. The WWE has started this. The definition of what a babyface is basically somebody who is just kind of a dick. They've been doing it for years. We know this. We've talked about it, right? And they bring that with them. Like, you know, my behavior of being an arrogant prick is actually it's a commendable personality trait. And it's not. You're a fucking bad guy when you behave like that, right? Guys that talk shit, when you talk shit, yeah, he's a fucking asshole. I like him because he's an asshole, but he's not a good dude. And I guess I just miss baby faces. They're nowhere to be found.
Right.
And I think that the reason why they're nowhere to be found is because it's really fucking hard to do and not get booed.
Right.
You know, nobody wants to accept it.
I think cowboy shit is a baby face.
He doesn't act like a dickhead.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
Cowboy shit is a fucking tremendous baby.
Legit baby face.
He is a fucking baby face.
Yeah. Brandon, final thoughts on this before we move on to more crap on Rampage?
I think I put in more than my word count needed to be on the Adam Cole versus Jake Atlas match, but
yeah. All right. All right. I wanted to talk about this. So, Andrade El Idolo is backstage and he's doing an interview with Tony Schiavone. And he says that he wants to ask Tony Schiavone, how much is Sting paying to have that boy held down?
Dude.
The boy being Darby Allin. And Tony Schiavone, I fucking love this. And Tony Schiavone says, "Oh, they're friends. He doesn't pay him." And he goes, "What are you talking about? Prove it. What are you talking about? I will pay him. Name your price. I'll pay him more." I went Darby Allin with me. I need someone to help me. I thought this was fucking brilliant. Andrade's on the mic His results in the ring have been shit because he doesn't win. But man, on the mic, he's fucking killer. He barely speaks English. I fucking love this. Brandon, thoughts?
I don't even have anything else to say. That's just so fucking. That's just so fucking funny.
It's so funny.
There's absolutely no way you would hang out with this guy for free.
You're for free. You pay for it. You pay it. He's like, no offense. No offense to Sting.
This fucking
no
weirdo,
offense to
right?
Sting. No offense to Sting. But how much is he paying him?
Please tell me you're renting this fucking little geek, right?
Come help me. Me and my assistant need someone to help us. I'll pay him. I'll match your price. Chris, thoughts?
I can't even add anything. Andrade's like one of these dudes that he knows what he's worth, so he doesn't give a fuck, and he just does his thing, you know, because he knows, this ain't going my way. CMLL, here I come. You know what I mean? Like, he's so good, and he just doesn't give a shit. And he did
the thing where, okay, so if you look at it, like all the matches are kind of weren't great, but he comes to, you think about it, like in the last 2 months, he comes to the ring, he looks at Cody, and he says, "You make stupid decisions. That tattoo, stupid decision." Fucking amazing. He has the match with Matt Sydal. He goes, I'm fighting Matt. What's his name? Matt Sydal. That's what Shivani says. Matt Sydal. He goes, Matt. And he points to the ground. He goes, something, something, something. Dude is fucking brilliant. He's fucking great, man. I'm hoping that he gets great things. It's not going to happen. All right. Anything else to talk about on the show? No. Jericho. Oh, Jericho's fucking plugs.
Yes.
He's got some juicy dye in there. Now looks like India ink. I think
does anybody even know what that is?
He's dumping India ink in his hands and he's rubbing it through his fingers.
It's like fucking Shaka Zulu when his mom dies.
He got it on the Silk Road. Dude, his fucking plugs are atrocious. Now, I'm going to go on the record and say that I was the first one to point out that he had plugs. Me only.
You only.
And man, he's adding a little fucking dark dye and thinning out real quick. He's getting a little nervous. His wife's going to jail for the insurrection, I think. Brandon, thoughts?
It's yeah.
Oh my god. My wife, she was involved in the insurrection. Oh my god. What am I gonna do? I know. I'll dye my hair.
No, his hair's shooting out of his head like a porcupine.
Oh, maybe
that. He's dyeing it to make it look thicker. Brandon goes up.
It's happened to me. I've seen it happen to many a dad. Now, I don't know if Just for Men was out when your dad started going gray, but I've seen it happen to many a local dad where I grew up, where all of a sudden that, they're kind of sneaking it in, getting the edges around the ears, and then one time they're like, oh, they fucked up. That shit is like, that shit looks like kiwi shoe polish is in their head. That's how Jericho showed up last night. He's like, ooh, I might have left it in for a few minutes too long. That
you
was
could
like,
see it in his root, like you can see it in his plug roots.
Yeah,
his plug roots are all dark. It looks like blackheads underneath his hair.
He has like the greatest hairline of all time. It's just like all of a sudden now at 52 years old, thick black, a million hairs start right where they start.
He's got the Steven Seagal rug look. Like his his widow's peak is slowly going to work his head down his head until it connects with his eyebrows. He's just going to have that hair look.
Yeah, that hard cam is shooting 4K, Chris.
Yeah, it is. As we learned when 4K first started, ugly people on TV aren't going to last long. All right, let's move on to the Battle of the Bells. I watched this with my wife. Necessarily an endorsement of it. Sammy Guevara fought Dustin Rhodes because Cody couldn't make it to defend the TNT championship. So interim champion. I don't know what the fuck this was. Brandon, thoughts? Bleacher Report gave it an A. It was, honestly, this was fun. It wasn't an A.
Yeah,
though.
I would. Yeah, no. Like, what if that's an A? Then how
think about it? Let me think of this scale. Okay, so if we were to use their scale, right? Imagine that I'm just imagining if this is an overall scale that applies to everything and not AEW. So this was if Okada and Kenny Omega was an A+. This was just below it. Like, what the fuck? Their scale is terrible. Chris, I don't know if you listened back to last week, but ripping on Bleacher Report has become a new thing. Brandon, good.
Yeah, they grade like school that's trying to get all their kids good scores on the PSSAs. It's just like everybody's getting an A. Get them through here. Get them out. It's like everybody's getting a fucking perfect score out here. I will say though, I was thinking when I was watching this, Dustin Rhodes was in fucking WrestleMania storylines with Roddy Piper. Yeah. This guy was in like the 1990 Royal Rumble, and now he's going 20 minutes with Sammy Guevara. Like, he is impressive how decent he looks still. As much as I didn't care.
Even before that, he was in NWA. Like, he's been around forever. I did like that this was kind of like a pro wrestling match. So, like, if you went to go see a show, so there was like a silly part where Sammy Guevara is like running all over the place, and Dustin Rhodes got gassed out, and he's like, and then he just kept going. I liked that. I thought it was kind of fun. It gave it that like carnival aspect that, like, as wrestling fans, when you go see it live, that you miss on TV a lot of times. I thought this was entertaining. I thought this match was a lot of fun. Chris, go ahead.
Dustin Rhodes wrestled, I believe, Bunkhouse Buck on the back of a moving truck.
Bunkhouse Buck on a moving truck.
Respect.
Shall we move on? That's all he's got. Matt Sydal versus Ricky Starks for the apparently the FTW title needs to be defended on title show. Matt, something. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, this was like you're looking at the TV and going, this is an hour-long show. We got Riho, Britt Baker coming up next, and it's 9:30 or 10:30. This is poor Matt Sydal's got about 4 minutes to get his ass beat, and that's what they gave him. This had to be under.
Chris, thoughts?
Dustin Rhodes wrestled the Blacktop Bully on the back of a truck. And the Blacktop Bully was Barry.
Bunkhouse Buck.
Just say it wasn't Bunkhouse Buck. It was the Blacktop Bully. I had to get that right. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about this.
Bunkhouse Buck was from camp.
I didn't give a fuck about any of this whole fucking show.
I gave a shit about this. Britt Baker versus Riho for the AEW Women's Championship. Outcome was determined. Riho definitely put the work in and made you guess, though. This is a good match. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. I thought this was great. Almost to the point of becoming frustrating at the end when Riho turned it over, even though you kind of knew that she was going to. She looked really good though. I mean, she was their first champ. She held it down for a while there. She could still do it. She could still be their champ if they wanted to do it.
Yeah, a couple near falls that made me think that she was going to win, but we knew the outcome. A lot of interference. This is a fun match. I thought this was overbooked and fun. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, I remember I watched this match actually in bed. But yeah, this was definitely, made me force myself to stay awake. It was good. I liked it. It was a great TV champion heel shit involved. Heels are getting in the way. There was that weird spot where she starts screaming, "What about?" They think she's because the refs don't know the announcers don't know what's going on sometimes. So they think she's screaming about Rebel, but here she's screaming about a table. Riho runs up the table and kicks. That
was a good spot.
Kicks
Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter. I always forget her name. Jamie Hayter in the face. Mm-hmm. Jamie Hayter gets her leg stuck underneath the table, which looked like it was pretty rough. And
I was a little worried about that.
Yeah, but other than that, good match. It was definitely worth. But it was in my opinion, the only thing really. The first match and this match were decent, but the rest of it's just kind of, God. I don't think I need 3.
Good.
I'm sorry. I don't think I need 3 AW shows in 1 week. It's just too much.
Yeah. Especially if you're just going to throw the 3 titles you don't really pay attention to on here. like where's the tag title? Where's the main? Oh no, it's everybody's defending their title that isn't in the main event.
Made up
to extend, just to make the quick point, to extend to a 4th hour to have a show specifically called Battle of the Belts and not have any like belt things happen is just another like, what the fuck? What are we doing? Why are you wasting another night of my week?
Right. Yeah, that spot with Jamie Hayter and Riho was a little terrifying after watching Kenta do that thing with the chair and with the table and everything. I was just like, oh my God, he's gonna get fucking squashed. I don't know, that was really good. But coming out of this, people got real racist on fucking Twitter. So much so about Riho. So much so that Kenny Omega, who hasn't really been active on Twitter, came out and started going after people. And bravo to him. They were saying that Riho was only there because Kenny Omega has, mind you, Riho is 25 years old. Kenny Omega has some kind of perversion for underage Asian women. I don't fucking know. They got fucking real racist. But Kenny Omega just went around and he just, because they were kept tagging Riho in these insults, and he just went around and he got everybody. He was like, I'm looking at your friggin' profile picture and you're holding a kid. Have you abducted that kid? Are you going to have sex with that kid later? That's my daughter. That's even more dangerous. That's even more disturbed. Dude, Kenny Omega was on fucking fire. I loved it. I just went through them all. It was great. Brandon thoughts.
Let's go. People calling people pedophiles on the internet. Because Riho just competed.
Yeah, because Riho's fucking skinny, I guess. I don't know. He I thought this was fucking great. Chris, thoughts on internet revenge?
I mean, I'm glad it's cool that he did it. He actually said something. I mean, we first of all always say it. It's the most toxic fan base in the history of fucking fan bases is pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Everybody that does shit like that needs to take a really good hard look at themselves. But
what pedophilia?
Huh? No. I don't know. I don't know. Was that a question? I don't know what just happened right there. I just heard pedophilia with sounded like a question.
You said anyone that does stuff like that should take a hard look at themselves. I just said pedophilia.
No.
Yes. Anyone who attacks people
on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, especially when I guarantee you every single one of those people that was doing that were probably the ones that were screaming they can't believe what happened to Hana Kimura, and then they all turned around and did it.
Yes, that's the thing.
Good point.
And Kenny Omega also makes that point that I can't believe that we're 2
You
years
already-
away from Hana Kimura dying, and you're going to harass people online,
shit.
and you're doing it.
Also,
these people were screen grabbing. They were getting blocked by Kenny Omega was just destroying them, and then blocking them. And then they were going and saying that they were victimized by Kenny Omega because he was abusing them online and reporting them, even though they're the ones that initiated this. Mm-hmm. Dude, wrestling fans are fucking scum.
They're the fucking worst.
Yeah. Even live they suck. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Brandon.
And we haven't even mentioned the point that Riho is the more skilled of the two people in the match in the first place.
Yeah, she's the one that's doing all the work. She's selling everything. She's putting the most believable offense in.
Why is she here?
Well, this is what happened. Now that you have indie wrestling on a major television network. Because let's be honest, this is what this is. So you're getting 10,000 seat indie wrestling shows with indie wrestling fans. And I'll tell you what, I've been to a lot of indie wrestling fans shows. And I'll tell you what, right now, a lot of those fucking fans, gross.
Yep.
And they got no room to fucking talk.
They smell.
It's the evolution of it's still real to me, damn it. It's like, okay, no, it's not real, but Britt Baker is fucking good and Riho is fucking not because I don't like her. If I like Britt Baker and Riho stinks because I like Britt Baker, then Riho's only here because she is having sex with Kenny Omega because they wrestled when she was an 8-year-old trainee, and come on, man, grow the fuck up. It's a fucking TV show, you fucking nerds. I always like you think people were like,
Oh man, I can't believe Rob Stark died in the Red Wedding. Oh, spoiler alert. Oh man, the guy that played the dude that killed him, man, I'm gonna send him fucking emails because that actor killed my favorite performer on television. His character is dead. I'm gonna send him emails and tweets.
I'm
He should
sure.
die.
I'm
He
sure
should die.
Many people did. I'm sure plenty of people did that. Plenty.
Get it.
What's that?
I don't get it. It's TV.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm like, I get the point you're making, but I'm sure plenty of people fucking were screaming about the actor that killed Rob Stark.
This is like where wrestling fans are at. It's like, okay, Game of Thrones isn't real, but they will tweet at Littlefinger and call him a monster because of what he did on the show. They couldn't you couldn't acknowledge, hey, this guy's a good actor and this person's not a good actor. That just is what it is. It's like, no, this guy's a monster.
Yeah, like if the actor had a verified profile called Littlefinger.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
You're a bitch, and I hope your family dies, and I hope everybody dies, and you kill yourself, and everything else. Whatever everything else is.
Everything else. That wasn't enough.
See.
Being a bitch, your family dying, everybody dying, and you killing yourself, that's not enough. I need you to also do everything else.
Everything else. Eat, drink, be merry. All right, let's move on to be nice on the internet, by the way. This week of AEW wasn't great. There was one fantastic match. The rest stunk. Here we go. So this week's Dynamite, here's what we have coming up. Ready? Brandon, CM Punk versus Wardlow. Are you excited?
No, this is another one of those things that doesn't make any sense where it's like MJF can decline the match whenever he wants, but then he books a match with CM Punk and Wardlow in it, and CM Punk's like, okay, gotta do it. So now we get to drag this storyline out.
Well,
just say no.
CM Punk is a former UFC fighter. And he's the commentator.
I watched one of his fights.
He's the commentator for CFFC. I think he does their grappling show now. He was doing that at least when they were in Philly. And maybe if we're lucky, we can work this Wardlow CM Punk feud into an MMA style fight. What do you think?
I hope. That was amazing last time. Next up, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Dante Martin. Brandon thoughts. I called this, didn't I? Dante Martin can work his way through the Taz people. Good.
Yeah, it's the same as the last one. Wow, this story has reached a point where it should become interesting. How do we kick the can 6 more times before we get an outcome?
The 6-man
work your way through the faction. Yeah. Mortal Kombat your way up the fucking line.
Yeah, did you ever? Yeah, it's Game of Death. Did you ever? Did they ever think like maybe you should have like whatever happens between babyface and heel faction member, and then kind of we don't see either of those two guys for a couple weeks, and maybe you work some of the other 8 million fucking people you have working for you under the show, and then bring it back and it's fresh instead of dragging us all through the mud. Like, the time that Chris Jericho was being compared to Hercules. I'll fight everybody, including Nick Gage. Oh, fucking Nick Gage. Fuck this show.
All right, next up. Here's one we should be excited about. You guys are going to talk about it because I'm going to run out of the room for a minute. Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb.
I got nothing.
Are
you serious? I got to go pee-pee.
Go pee-pee. We'll talk about it. So, again, I get it. It's AEW is like the king. They just go back to the well so fucking often. Like, look, I get it. You got two amazing wrestlers, right? Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb. That's fantastic. Not everything you have to naturally build like epic rivalries. You can't just have them wrestle every other fucking week and tell us that it's epic. It has to do that on its own. You don't look at things while they're happening and say, this is the greatest, like when you have these big storied rivalries, it doesn't become a storied rivalry until you're like so deep into it. And it's been so good that you're like, holy shit, this has been awesome. Not, match number 2 because this is so
Yeah.
great. Match number 3 because this is so great. This is so great. This is so great. That's not the way it works. You know, you don't start really noticing it until like there's no organic story building. It's just we're going to have these guys wrestle a bunch of times because they're both really good. We're going to have wrestle a bunch of times and then tell you that it's great.
And it's a lot of retracing of footprints that have already happened, which is kind of annoys me. Where a lot of other forms of entertainment, we're at a place right now where you're flipping stuff on its head. It's like, wow, I didn't know you could inject energy into this concept and make it feel like something I've never seen before. And AEW is like, in wrestling, it's few and far between where you get a new cable wrestling TV show where you can inject energy into it, and it feels very much like Game of Thrones is like, what if we did fucking kill the main character in season 1? To go back to that reference, where AEW is very much like, oh, this is the story from 1988. They're retelling it a second time, and you just can't help I can't help but think when I'm watching it, I was like, what if you didn't do that? What if you did change things? So that's been my frustration with this, and not to pick a fucking Hikaru Shida Serena Deeb match to be the one to hammer it on, but yeah, it's like the depth isn't there in a lot of these. This one is one of the better ones, but you can't just keep having these matches because they're exciting.
I'm excited. Move on.
Quick poop blast, or was that a little whiz?
I'm old, so taking a pee takes a long time. Sorry. Interim TNT Championship match. The champ, Sammy Guevara, versus Daniel Garcia. Brandon, thoughts? Daniel Garcia is on every show all the time.
Guy's going
Good for him, working his ass off. He's the Booker T of AEW. He's on everything all the time. You'll never forget him. Yeah, Brandon.
Nah, it was just got my bounce from getting over the first boring ass Sammy Guevara TNT title run. Now we're back. So,
Chris, thoughts?
Nah. Right. I can't stand Sammy Guevara's face. If he was never on my television again, I'd be really fucking happy. Plain and simple, he's a fucking scumbag. He's gross.
But he cheated on his wife, and now he's.
I don't. That only. Yeah. On TV.
On TV.
And then
now she's crying at home, and he's like, "Hey, look at me making out with my new girlfriend, who looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid." I like his other girlfriend better.
He was clay. He's look. I'm not gonna argue the morality of him leaving his fiance for some woman he works with, whatever. But he's done and said other things that are really fucking gross, and
he's a scumbag.
Suffered no consequences for it. So now he's just I can't stand his fucking face. I'd like to take a pair of pliers and grab his fucking tongue that he's always
no, not the tongue, that chin mole, chin mole.
God.
He's got a mole right in the middle of his chin. To take a fucking pliers and just yank on that thing until blood squirted out. And then it would bathe in the blood.
And then you could see Jericho's hair with his mole blood.
Oh my God.
Jericho's hair would be like
his moles. His forehead is just covered in moles.
His hair would be growing like a hydra.
It would look like a rhinoceros's ass.
Ooh. Did I ever tell you about the time a rhinoceros, we were at the zoo and a rhinoceros just turned so its ass was facing us and took a shit and it looked like the size of a fucking 3-liter bottle of Pepsi coming out of its ass.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
You get 3 liter. Yeah. You can't even get that in a name brand. That's like the store brand goes up to 3 liters.
Why is that? Why did Coke and Pepsi stop making 3 liters?
Because
not that I buy
sugar on it.
I mean,
so embarrassing.
Yeah, they were just like,
do we really need that?
I think RC Cola still makes them.
The store brand definitely does.
Yeah.
Does that say 14,000 grams of sugar? Like,
yeah, let's get rid of this.
14,000 grams of sugar per serving. 48 servings.
Or maybe somebody was like, I was at the zoo the other day and a rhinoceros took a shit and it looked just like one of those bottles. We got to get this off the shelf.
It looks just like Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that root beer?
Things to talk about real quick before we sign off. A bunch of people were let go in WWE. Do we care?
No. They've shown us what they're doing.
Yep.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Have you watched AEW or NXT at all?
I have not. No.
Brandon?
No.
No, I have zero attraction to anything WWE. I haven't watched Raw, SmackDown. I'm not going to watch the Rumble. I don't care. They make an announcement. They're like, hey, we've broken the forbidden door, and we're letting Mickey James, who worked here for 10 years, come back and get a paycheck because we fired everyone, and we don't have enough women for the Rumble.
Is that really happening?
Yeah, Mickey James is coming. They called her the Impact champ.
Yeah, she's the Impact
Knockouts
champ. Knockouts champion, yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned Impact. Vince, you think Vince is backstage like, I can't believe you got rid of everyone.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough fucking talent.
And Tony Khan Jr. is just like, yes, sir, whatever. I'm just trying to save some money for us. So the stockholders. Go ahead.
Well, I think if I read correctly, WWE is doing they're doing the Royal Rumble, 30-man and 30-woman Royal Rumble. 15 of the men and 15 of the women are going to come out on Saturday night, and then the other half of the Royal Rumble will be on Sunday night.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. All right, everybody get back. Go back to where you were. Let's go.
Where is the Royal Rumble this year? Do we know?
Fucking hell. The Performance Center. Who gives a shit? It's just
fucking hell.
So first of all, it's on a Saturday fucking night. Isn't it?
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Is that what they're doing? They're
doing
the
pay-per-views in St. Louis, Missouri. The Dome at America Center.
Are you gonna watch, Brandon?
On a Saturday? No. On a Sunday, I probably would have.
I'll put it on Peacock if I can find it on a Monday afternoon.
Apparently, Brock Lesnar's been pretty good on the mic, though.
I heard he's been amazing. They let him talk now, and he's like a lot of fun. But I don't know. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. Nope. All right. Let's get out of here then. Any last thoughts? Brandon, last thoughts?
No, man. Let's please stop producing 18 hours of content a week, professional wrestling world. Enough. I'm losing my goddamn mind over here.
Yawn is over. January 4th is over. We got a Stardom show coming up soon. We'll preview that when we get closer to it. Of course, we got AEW. AEW's pay-per-views in, I think, first week of March. A bunch of dumb shows for a while. Nothing too exciting. Chris, final thoughts? That's a no.
Tenzon.
I got nothing. Tenzon. Tenzon's ankle.
Yeah. All right. Let's go home. Thank you for joining us this week, and join us here every week at Wrestling is Hard. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at hard4wrestling. Subscribe and follow. Tell your friends. Send us emails, complaints, questions. We'll talk about all of them. WrestlingIsHard@gmail.com. For Brandon and Chris, I'm Jim, and we'll be back here next week.